Yo, live from Levi Stadium.
We really outside.
We really outside.
outside.
And look at who we outside with.
It's a nice day.
LaRussell,
Come on.
Arik Armstead.
Bay Area.
Come on, man.
NorCal.
Come on, man.
Sacktown.
Come on. Talk to him.
Man.
Yo, man.
Sweet life.
Sweet life.
Yeah.
We here. Yo, I first of all, I want to thank both of y'all for coming on and rocking out with us and everything. I think this is going to be an immense conversation. Yeah, let's just jump into it, man. Let's just jump right into it. First of all, bro, congratulations on everything that's happening for you right now.
Yeah.
Because you planted the seeds and the harvest it's here.
Right? It's here.
It's here. Talk to us a little bit about it.
Where would you like me to start?
I think you should mention year one.
When you say about it, what you mean about it?
But let's rewind. I think for me, it's like, when did you identify music, entrepreneurship was going to be? What was that blueprint? What were things that were on that got you to where you're at? But let's talk about a little bit of the early LaRussell.
Man.
It's still early, but let's talk about
it. Right? So early, I mean, musically, I really got into like rapping as I'm performing rapping, I'm writing stuff with my sister, like 6 or 7. We used to have like this old boom box and we'd burn CDs like songs, you feel me? And we used to always rap over the Nuck If You Buck beat, right? Put our own verses, right? So that got me into early just writing. I was always writing like poems, rap, shit like that. And I guess it just really scaled from there. It's one of those things that kind of happened subconsciously. Music just kept finding its way to me. Like as I was going throughout my journey, I ended up finding a YouTube video of Kanye producing. And I'm like, now I want to make beats. And then my sister just happened to have a boyfriend at the time who used the beat program. So he was like, oh, I'm finna download it for you. I'm gonna show you how. It's like, how coincidental could that be? Like everything was just aligning from the jump, really, now that I think about that shit. So from there, doing mixtapes, battling in high school, and after, just kind of dabbling in music, but in the workforce, and then finally stepping out of there and just going all in with music. But there's been so many moments throughout, you feel me? Every moment is so deep, too.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
When did you feel like things were like, oh shit, things are clicking, like things are like how I drew it up?
It's been a few points. I remember doing, earlier than that, I went across the street to one of my boys' house, and we were just outside, we was writing raps, and he was probably about 4 or 5 years older than me, and we both wrote a rap. And I could tell that my rap was significantly better, even though I was younger. Like the words and like the flow, it was like, you feel me? So that's like an early moment of this is something. And then getting into high school and finally battle rapping and rapping publicly and seeing the report you get from that. Back then, viral was 500 views back then. You get 500 views or you viral, you feel me? So that and man, after dropping my first album and hearing people react to it, and now I just see it every day and everything, everywhere we go, we kind of get embraced. And to be, I'm at this stadium right now through rap, right? Through my being, but through rap.
So you spoke on, prior to the cameras rolling, Arik, you spoke on seeing things ahead, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. On your journey, what was it's almost like having the chalkboard, they say write things down.
Right.
What was written down on your board that you had to achieve?
Exactly what I'm doing now, to be honest. Even as a kid, I was always forward thinking about my future, 4th, 5th, 6th grade. And I was really blessed too, because my dad trained professional basketball players. So I was around NBA guys growing up. So the life I'm living now wasn't like unattainable to me. I always felt like, dang, these dudes, I see these dudes, I come to the gym every day with them, I see them training, I see them working out. that's how you get to where they at. And so, you know, in 4th, 5th grade, I knew I wanted to be in the league. Back
In the
then,
NBA or the
back
NFL?
then it was the NBA.
Okay. Okay.
You know, I knew I wanted to be in the league, bro. I knew I wanted to be a professional athlete, and I knew I wanted to have a family. I knew I wanted to have kids. I knew I wanted to be different than my peers and set myself apart from my peers. And you know, it took a lot of sacrifice. You know, and you know, God continued to bless me along the way. And so I would say, you know, everything I dreamed of, I'm doing. And then, you know, then now I have new dreams and new things I want to accomplish at this point. So it's definitely been a blessing.
Sacrifice. You know a lot about that.
Come on, don't we all?
Yeah. But you again, you spoke to it earlier. Stepping out from the workforce, stepping out on faith, because a lot of us have gotten caught up in, yo, that paycheck is coming every 2 weeks,
Right.
and it's you know, but that can hold you captive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not in your, because you know what I mean. But in the sort of,
that's the thing. Like you can't like we always use faith, but faith is too shaky. Like you have to have a knowing. Like when I stepped out, it wasn't on faith of like, it wasn't a belief, right? A belief is to have a belief in something you don't know, right? I knew. It was as simple. It was like, when I leave here, this is what I'm going to do. Not what I hope to do or I think I'm going to do. This is what I was going to do. So it was no faith necessary, right? It was a knowing already.
the knowing.
Yeah, you gotta know. I mean,
You gotta know. which you always know, because the sacrifice would never be worthy if you didn't. I wouldn't do all this for something I don't know is going to happen. I know I'm going to make, and that's a beautiful thing when you take ownership of that, right? Because then you cut out all the extras, and I didn't make it because this person, or I didn't make it because this. Is like, bruh, when you know, it's solely up to you. Everything else is an option, you know, but it's up to you.
Yeah, because it makes it easier, right, when you can point at somebody else and say, "Oh, I didn't." Because this person and that person,
right.
I think you're very, you know, I think one thing I really love and respect about you is how brutally and transparent you are and honest about whether it's record labels, whether it's about your business and what you're building. Because, you know, as us as a community and a culture, we're not, you know, we're afraid to like share information because we like, oh, he might get a leg up on me.
And you know what's so crazy? That like he might get a leg up doesn't even exist like externally. I noticed that within family. Like for a long time within like just family, when I started working, I would never tell my pop what I made or what he made, which is crazy because as a collective, y'all probably make $300-400 a year. But everyone's being solo and secretive about their finance. So it's like I'm struggling to get by with 60, he's struggling with 30 instead of us having 200. Right? So it's like that trauma of that intransparency exists beyond the I'm trying to get a leg up. It's like we family and it's still like you know, like people just feel you feel eerie about that. I remember one time I left like a receipt, my bank account receipt in my mom's car, and she came and gave it to me, and it gave me a feeling of like, man, what you like you? But it's like, who the fuck cares? You feel me? Like everything that's mine is hers anyway. You know, but it's like interesting that it builds that energy, that leg up energy, or like you just feel exposed for some reason, right?
Is that
conditioning or some shit?
Yeah, and that's got to be heavy in the locker rooms, like the veteran player, where I feel like it should be, okay, this is the rook. Now let me haze him. I mean, friendly hazing, whatever.
I'm not with none of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm all about sharing knowledge, my experiences. You know, I don't believe in...
Are you introducing guys to business managers and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, you know, you don't want to be intrusive, so I let guys know that it's there, and guys know who to come to, and, you know, if they need help, you know, me and other various guys. But, you know, it's got to be... Sometimes you gotta let them, you know, figure it out and come to you for help with certain things. But I mean, that's what I'm all about. Like you said, a lot of times in the league or in professional sports, you know, everything's competitive. this guy, they drafted him. Oh, he's coming from my spot. Okay, well, if you know who you are, then you know what God got for you is gonna be. It ain't none of that, it's me versus him stuff. It's me, what God got for me is gonna happen for me. So me sharing my knowledge, me helping out a young guy, that's not putting me into jeopardy. I've been fortunate enough to be on the Niners for 8 years. They've drafted a whole bunch of guys. They brought in a whole bunch of people. That's how the league works. They're always constantly trying to get better and replace you. But I'm still here, you know what I'm saying?
Which is crazy because they're not even trying to replace you. They're just trying to get the best. So it's like, if you don't want to be replaced, just be the best.
Yeah, just be the best.
Like, that should be the focal, right? But people don't understand, like, even on a team, like, no one can take your spot because you don't have a spot. Like, as a team, your spot is to help the team. Whatever position you need to play to help the team win, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, they just want the best. But that mentality that you're constantly in competition and someone can take something from you, right? That doesn't exist. Like, this thing that you think they're taking from you doesn't exist as long as you're doing the work, right?
Yeah.
Bar.
Does that give you
irreplaceable?
Does that give you a sense of, both of you, does it give you a sense of freedom that you're in such control of your outlook, your business, and just your perspective on everything? Because I think we wrestle with perspective, we wrestle with so much outside interference, but with the ownership, especially what you've been able to build and your mindset, does that give you a little sense of more peace and calm and freedom?
Definitely. I was just saying recently, like, I'm happy I haven't signed a big major deal because I'm hyperhuman. I may not do nothing for a little while, and I may not want to fly and go do a show. I love that I have the power of choice. Like, I'll be saying I'm gonna retire in a year, and really what I've learned is, like, I want the choice of retirement, right? I want to be able to choose if I want to go work today and do something, or if I just want to chill, right? And having that freedom definitely aids in that liberation. When you don't have that, it becomes difficult to function, right?
Yeah, I would say, freedom in my head. I have an employer. You know what I'm saying? I'm an employee, and I have, people to answer to. But the peace and freedom for me is, controlling the things that I can control.
Being accountable to your teammates.
Being accountable to myself, and what we just talked about, like being irreplaceable, that's on me,
Right.
No one can take something from me unless I give it to them, you know what I'm saying? So that all that has to do with me is controlling what I can control and putting myself in the best position to be successful. And when you let go, everybody said when you let go and let God, when you let go and focus on what you need to do and what you can control and let all the other stuff take care of itself and really know that, like, what's going to happen for me is going to happen, there's nothing to really stress about, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it boils down to for me, and that's what has allowed me to be like this in the league, when it's always here, there, good game, bad game.
Right.
I'm just like this.
It's like an airplane ride, Like, in an airplane, you know that you have no control, right? And you could either stress out the entire time over that, or you could play chess, right? and put your headphones on, listen to music. Like, that's
Watch
exactly how this
something,
shit
drink
is,
a glass
right?
of champagne,
Right,
whatever.
there's only so much that you're actually in control of on this plane.
On this planet.
On this planet, for sure.
On this planet.
On this plane.
Got a T to it.
What excites you the most about what you're doing is for both of you guys to keep you motivated, to keep you operating at a high level. Again, like some people they set a goal, they knock that down, they set another goal, but what keeps you that fire? What keeps that going?
The fire for me is, I'm not done yet. There's a lot of things that is out there for me to accomplish, and I feel like it would be a disservice, to everything that I've been blessed with, both on the field, off the field, my state of mind, and how that can be helpful to other people, and there's just a lot more for me to do. And off the field, what's inspired me is, the kids that I work with through my nonprofits. Like, who else is going to do the work? God, that responsibility is on me, and I take that responsibility, and it gets to me when I feel like, I don't know, I'm the type of person, I feel like I'm never doing enough. Like, I never feel like I always feel like I'm not training enough. I always feel like I'm not doing enough things off the field, building, the other business ventures I have. I never feel like I'm serving, my community enough. So I'm always, striving for more and, staying hungry.
Does that feeling of like never doing enough have like does it leave a negative feeling or a positive one, or both?
I feel like it's the driving force that keeps me going, but also it can weigh on me because a lot of times I feel, it could drive me, or it can kind of depress me at times because I feel like I'm not doing enough. Like, dang, I need to do more, but it'd be so difficult. A lot of times when stuff's not coming together, like, then you can get into that mind frame. But I feel like it's a positive in the end because it always keeps me moving forward. It keeps me pushing where a lot of people,
So it doesn't stifle you. You're not.
Nah, I feel like a lot of people reach a certain level of success, and it's like, I'm cool, but I haven't had that feeling.
Right.
I don't know what's gonna take to feel like I'm cool.
Right.
I don't know what it is.
I don't get from either of you that it's ever gonna be cool. I feel like there's gonna be something else.
Empty.
You got leave empty.
Right? You have to leave empty.
Yes.
There's just so much that can be done, right? And you get to do it. You don't have to do it, but you get to do that shit. So
yeah. Therapy. You guys proponents of that? That's something you really...
I tried therapy and I ran from it. I wasn't ready at the time, and I tried to make it like a bad thing in my mind. For me, I tried to make my experience bad because I wasn't like in the space I needed to receive it. So I was like, fuck therapy, you feel me? But it's a great thing, and I think it's a necessary thing for certain people. Like I noticed for me, like, I just need to go ride bikes and hoop and talk to my homies and do the stuff that I love, and that is my therapy, But I think all versions of it is beneficial, right?
You spoke earlier about a little bit of you and your mom, the relationship, and there has been some trauma, but you guys are working your way through it. It's an ongoing thing. So how do you get to that sobering reality, because it's your mom, right? We all have mothers here. Everyone's experience, I'm sure, has been different. How do you get to that place where you're like, this is my mother, but I have some things that we need to address so that we can be healthy?
Right.
And what was the catalyst?
For us, it was weed. Weed was the catalyst.
Okay.
Like, my mom had went through a depression, and she ended up, start using weed to just like cure and help with her emotions. And then I started smoking with her. We're smoking. We just chop it up. We just used to talk for hours in the garage, or just like she's always around and we just talk. And as you talk, it just kind of liberates itself, because you start to see people as the human, right? Which is very hard in the beginning to disassociate people from their role, right? You have a father, and then you have this man who grew up, who was born in Texas and moved to Oakland and had his own parents and lost his people, and that's different from your father. Those are two different people, right? But when you only look at them as your father, as your mother, the perspective gets shift, right? Because the human from them removes, because you only want to see the superhero sometimes, So, man, us just chilling and talking and smoking allowed me to really see her as the human. And I feel like once you see somebody at that level, like, even when you're upset at them at any point, it's going to wean, because you know who they are. And it's like, bruh, you my dog. I rock with you. So
the heart.
Just allow... Right, the heart. You feel me? That's what's important, right?
Because the other shit we be moving on is disappointment and our own expectations of someone.
You want someone to act a way that you want them to act, right? That's not real.
It's not real at all.
It's not love, and it's not real, and it's not none of that shit that, we try to make it out to be. It's none of that.
Nah, that's facts. For me, I think therapy is amazing. I think you covered the family aspect, but I'll talk about it from a more personal aspect. I talk to a sports psychologist once a week, during the season, and just to, it's a lot that goes into being a professional athlete. A lot to deal with. We all have our own personal issues, but there's a lot of things, with our job, work-wise, pressure, expectations, success, failures, different things that we have to navigate in order to perform at a high level. And so I feel like for me, therapy and talking to my wife is a psychiatrist. So
Okay.
I've learned a lot from her, us now being together, going on 6-7 years. I learned a lot from her about, just communicating and getting things off your chest, and retraining your brain how to deal with certain, different experiences and different things that we all have to go through. And I think everyone goes through stuff, you know what I'm saying? There's no school for being equipped to deal with things emotionally.
Yeah.
There's no school for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what you go to a therapist for, is to learn how to rewire your brain when something happens. And it's just a perspective shift just like that allows you to, to get through it. It's just changing your perspective a little bit.
Right.
When I talk to my sports psychologist, he'll ask me like, so what are you worried about? What's your fears for this game, or what you worried about? And we'll talk, and then he always brings it back to, well, what are the action items? You know what I'm saying? Well, what it always boils down to, none of that stuff matters. It's all about what I do. It's all about how I prepare. It's all about my mindset when I take that field. It doesn't really matter about all those other things. It's about my perspective and my mindset when I walk onto the field. So I think people need those skills to be able to work through different situations.
Right. Important tools.
Navigation.
That's why I think your music has engaged so many people, because it's so raw, vulnerable. It's so it's just stripped down.
Right.
It's just you really telling your truth, like sitting in your truth, and not sitting in your truth when you just feel like, you ain't on you're not on the, you could be on the wristwatch and the other things, but that's not, you know what I mean? Like,
man, music is the diary.
Yeah,
that's what.
So
I
it's
realized,
an ongoing
right? Like,
thing.
It's just public. My diary is just public, but it's the diary. Like when you're at home and you journal, sometimes you feeling flashy and fly. The public just don't get to witness it. With me, it's like every emotion I experience, I diary through music, and then everyone gets to consume it and see it. But it's just a journal, which is why you get all of that emotion. Some songs I write, I'm never writing the song with the intention of it coming out, right? Sometimes you're just writing because you're writing music, right? This is what I'm doing and expressing, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna have to share this shit too, Well, I don't have to, but I get to, right? And it's just like, it's your diary out in the open.
That's great.
No, I got a question for you, because being, I never made art, music for people to enjoy. I know as a player, the kind of reactions and emotions and connections with fans and stuff that I can bring out of people by doing something on the field,
right.
You know what I'm saying, or being able to meet me. But like, how is it as an artist, like when people tell you or share with you like how stuff has inspired them, how people are connecting with your art?
Man, I think it's a very similar feeling. Like I always use a lot of basketball metaphors, because I feel like we live the same lives. Like I feel how Jordan felt, when you come off a stage and you have a big show. Like it's that similar energy. The adrenaline is high, and man, it's always a certain type of embrace that I get as an artist that I notice everyone who's in, you know, hip hop and rap don't get. It's not similar, right? Some people get the fan and they come shake, but mine is like, there's always a life-changing story attached, or they just want to be kind of in this, right? It's never just a base level hello. You know, and man,
that's because of you.
That's special. Yeah,
That's because of you.
And I'm grateful for that.
Because when you walk, not to cut you off, but when you walked in here today, the way you greeted everyone, it was like, yo, who am I greeting? And it was a hug. It was a real embrace. Like, so that what you're getting back is
right.
It's just the reciprocation of the energy that you're putting out. So that also, man, that's what makes you special.
Come on.
For real, that's what makes it different.
Yeah.
Different.
You used to want to buy a Benz, now you could buy 10. Instead of buying those 10 Benzes, what did you buy?
I went and got a compound.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
We just got, we call it GC Estates now, but it's 4 commercial units, 4 residential units. We building studios, film production, merch distribution facilities. I moved all the homies in who work for me. My mama helping with shipping. Everyone who's doing the construction work is like homies and people from the city. Like, I really employ the people around me. One of my homies from middle school is like, he heads all the labor and just, it's really a family affair. You know, we finally got something like, prior to this, people didn't come to Vallejo for anything unless they had family there or Marine World.
Yeah.
I've been building Marine World. We've been having people fly in from every state to come to my backyard. So now we got something even grander, and we're just cultivating like a true experience, right? And building infrastructure that didn't exist. Previously, you couldn't have shot a TV show or a movie in Vallejo unless you on there with the big studios. Now we have that access and ability. All the independent artists coming up. We're building a merch distribution system like we were in a garage. Now we're building it where we could serve, you know, other artists around us. So, man, you know, instead of the 10 Benzes, we went the other way.
I love it. I love it. Congratulations. Another question, this for both of you. When do you sit back and give yourself time to reflect in the amazing work, in the lives you're impacting? You know, do you feel like you get enough of that? Do you do that at all? Do you feel like that's something else, something you can focus on a little bit more?
I get to sit often, but also very little, but I also do it, I do it while I'm doing it, right? So like even in these moments when I'm sitting, I'll just take one of them moments to breathe. And even walking in here, it was like in my head, I was having that moment, you feel me? So sometimes it just comes as I'm doing the act. I'm always kind of in that, on stage, when you have all these people here, like there's moments where I just break and I feel that, you feel me? So definitely, but I also feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, right? So it's like a big deal, but it's also like, this is what I'm supposed to do. You ain't even seen it yet. You feel me? This is what happened when you go shoot 10,000 shots.
You use a lot of basketball analogies. You a fan?
I love hoop. I feel like I just love hoop. It's like an art, it's right. It's really an art when people are playing, especially great players. But
Who do you love watching?
Who do I love watching? Curry. Incredible. I don't even really watch sports at all anymore. I only catch highlights. So for me to catch it, you got to be exceptional, right? So I see the John Morants, because those are only highlights, right? So I only get to see the exceptional people, and I love it because I get to become fan. It does all the filtering for me. It's like an A&R automatic, right? Yeah. If you're working, that's the only way I'm gonna see you.
What about you? Who are some of your favorite athletes? NFL, NBA?
Yeah, other boxing, anywhere, whatever. You know what I mean? Who you love?
I'll say for me, I grew when I was young. I was a big Kevin Garnett fan when he was on the Timberwolves. The big ticket. You know, I'm a Bron fan for sure, and you know I'm inspired by his work. You know, off the court too, what he's doing with I Promise School and building the whole village there for the families, not just the school, but you know he's doing housing, he's doing. You know, he's making sure that the whole community has everything they need. That's really inspired me. Nipsey was a big influence on my life in terms of everything that he was doing for his city and just his mindset. Did a lot for me too. So those are two big, like, you know, cultural influences on me.
Yeah, Nip was great, man. Like, just speaking on Nip is how my relationship with Shoe Palace started. I used to be one of the top people at Puma Entertainment, and I actually signed Nip to Puma. We had a prior relationship, and we were working on his first collection, and he wanted it to go into Shoe Palace only because of the outstanding work that they do in the community. Them starting in the Bay with one store, being mom and pop in the empire that they built. And I speak on that because of proximity and also to who you align yourself with. You know what I mean? And I feel like the alignment, one of the reasons of this show is alignment for us. We only want to sit down and really talk to people that we feel aligned on similar journeys or outlooks, or we respect what they're doing. And, you know, it's just amazing not knowing either one of you guys watching the journey, but to be able to sit down with you guys and create alignment, and now to be able to wrap our arms around each other and support each other on these next steps. You know what I mean? So,
that's real.
Again,
That's
it's
awesome.
just,
You need
flowers.
a call made. You need a call made. You know what I mean? We need a call made, and real calls, things that can move the needle. You know what I mean? Not the, yo, can I have a ticket, LaRussell? Can I come to the purgatory?
Right.
Nah, like, you're building this. You should know this person. He can help you scale this. He can help you scale this, and the person I'm introducing you to, you're going to understand that they're of tremendous value as a human.
Right.
That from a human,
Got morals. I ain't
yeah.
messing with 'em.
You can only do that if you care, right?
That's it.
You can only do it if you care, because
Yeah.
no one does that unless it's like, no, I need you to know this person for this reason, right? You have to care immensely to even share your resource, right? It's scarcity, right?
Yeah.
You have to care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, you had a hate to bring this up, but y'all had a tough weekend. You know, but at the same time, when that confetti is falling and it's not, you know, it's not these colors, it's the other color. How does that? How much more does that inspire you?
Inspired me a lot. You know, I've played in the Super Bowl, lost 2 NFC championships back-to-back years, and unfortunately lost. So it definitely inspires. You know, you're grateful, and you appreciate, you know, the special team you had, and you know, you just hope that you get another shot. You never really know. You know, this league is crazy. You never know if you're gonna get another shot. Just hopefully we can, and that's what we're gonna be working to do, to put ourselves back in that position and hopefully get it done.
And what do you do personally as one of the leaders on the team, one of the senior guys, to some of the younger guys who may need to, who took it a little hard? Not that you didn't take it hard, but hey, I need to refocus y'all. We gonna show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the experience is there. You know what I'm saying? Being in that situation, if you on our team and our building, you know, you're made of the right stuff. So, you know, that experience alone is enough, and it's gonna sting everyone. If you ain't care, you wasn't really tripping, you probably won't be. I mean, you might be here, but probably not for long. You know what I'm saying? So, it definitely matters to everyone. I mean, I think for me, I just always take responsibility on myself of what I can do. You know, I feel like, you know, I feel like 2 years ago, I felt like, dang, like, you know, that was getting to the Super Bowl was on me. That's just how I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if everyone thinks that way, that's gonna motivate you in the off season. That's gonna motivate you next year to be the reason why. Selfishly, I want to be the reason why we win a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, and if everyone takes that approach, I'm gonna be the reason why. I'm gonna go make the game-changing plays and be the reason why we win a Super Bowl. Collectively, if each individual takes that approach, then collectively, you know, we can't.
It becomes we gonna be the reason.
Yeah, we're gonna be the reason why.
Right?
I can't be stopped. But that's what football boils down to, is, you know, you doing your role to the best of your ability and going out there and being like, hey man, I'm the game changer. I'm gonna go out here and make these plays, and we're gonna win. You know what I'm saying? And that's always been my mindset, and that's what I'm gonna do next year too.
You carrying that baton right now. It ain't even a baton. Like, you out here with the sign, and it, like, that's, you know, good company. Like, you, LaRussell, like, that's what you're doing now. How do you I get the sense that you're not gonna have anybody around you that you don't feel is exceptional or is going to roll into exceptional, right? So how do you weed out certain
it's
things?
not even exceptional in terms of like talent or ability for me. Like, the more I grow now, like, we're just having a conversation, and I have some people who, it's like, they're not exceptional at a role, but they're great humans. And I think that is that's the best trait to have kind of on a team, because it improves morale. Like, you feel good. It's a different energy. Like, yeah, you great at catching, but, you know, do you feel good to be around? Do I want to hang with you?
Yes.
Right? And that changes everything. So yeah, I'm always looking for people who make me feel good, right? I don't want to clock into work and feel like shit the whole time, you know? So it just kind of, but it's that energy, like you say, you get an exchange. Whatever kind of energy you put out, you kind of input, which is different than like a football team, because you don't always get to choose who's on your team. But with me, I have the power to decide who I want to play with. I choose who goes on the field with me or not, right?
Beautiful.
That's dope.
That's super dope.
How do you spend your downtime? I know we in the off season, and you was here at the office putting in some work. You could be on vacation, but like, how do you spend your downtime?
A lot of family, man. I got 2 daughters.
How old, if you don't mind me asking?
Just turned 2. My oldest just turned 2, and I got a 9-month-old too. So a lot of family time, being around my wife and my kids. I don't get a lot of time with them, obviously, during the season, so I try to catch up on that. I love to travel, so take a little trip and then get right back to work. Write down all the things that I want to improve on. I do a self-scout from last year, what I liked, what I didn't like, things I want to get better at, things I want to add to my game, things, you know, other things that I want to focus on this year, and put a plan down, and then, you know, right back to it.
What's some of your favorite places you've either did shows at, you know, some cities or traveled to?
Omaha, definitely. Top of the list. Omaha was the first time I ever seen a firefly. That was an experience. I'm from the Bay, so I've never in my life seen a fire. So this is like a magical Disneyland experience, right?
Did you put it in a jar?
Nah, we couldn't even catch him. We was in the house. I was just in awe, but it was like, man, it's different. Like, it really puts your gratitude in the forefront. If you see a firefly and you upset still, you gotta really go work on something. You feel me? Because it really changed everything. So that's special. New York is always special. They embrace me. It feels like home out there. They embrace me with so much love. But my favorite place to be is home. Like, I love being home, which is why we built what we built, so people can come see us in our habitat and in our environment. You feel me? I love being home.
That's amazing.
I was speaking to him last week, and I said, just out of curiosity, I said, "You're gonna be down in LA for any of the Grammy stuff?" And he was like, his response was like, "Nah." You know what I'm saying? It was actually super refreshing, because I was like, "Oh yeah, the focus is there." Because anybody in his position right now, he could have been like, I'm at the Rock Nation brunch. He could go to Clive Davis's party. I'm saying he could have had the run of the things that are at the top of the list. And you were like, nah, I'm at the house with the family. We working and we doing what we doing.
Man, there's some big shit bubbling. Yeah.
When's the compound opening? Do you have like a target date? Are you rolling out in phases?
Not even necessarily. I'm just letting it flow. You know, we're starting the backyard shows back in April, and we got 5 of those this year, and we just letting it roll. We building, and as it opens and we open more doors, people get to come witness it. But we just docking the journey right now.
I gotta come to one of them shows.
Oh, we
I'm
pulling
not-
up.
You have to. It's a must.
Yo, Worldwide
up.
Ty went to one of the shows.
Yeah, that's my dog.
He told me.
It's a
Branch
must.
manager. Yeah.
We all going.
We all going.
pulling up.
And you at Soul Bloom.
Yep. But you gotta come to the backyard.
No, I'm
It's
coming
just
to the
a
backyard
different-
first.
The experience is
I want to
different.
sit in the garage though.
Right.
So when does that series kick off?
So April, the first Sunday is the first Sunday of each month from
Okay.
April to August.
Okay.
Yep.
So what we got to do is we got to get with Shoe Palace.
Yep.
Do some sort of
Give
community
out
launch
props to the
event.
hood, man.
Can we do that? Backpacks. Get these kids
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, Dave.
You got pull. We got to go to get all of us.
Sure, I'm
all of
pulling up.
us.
Yeah.
But also, let's talk about your events. You got the gala coming up. You got just everything that you're involved with, for the kids.
Yeah, it's a
philanthropy.
big off season for me for my nonprofit Armstead Academic Project. We believe in equity in education, so
Beautiful.
I want to
Watts.
I want to provide opportunity for students from disadvantaged backgrounds, and that's the kids I work with. Kids live in the projects, kids that are forgotten about, but kids I think can really add a lot to society if they had some nurturing and some people poured into their lives. So we got a lot of things going on. I got 3 events. I'm doing a college tour and a football camp at Sac State. Doing a teacher appreciation event for 500 teachers in Sacramento. We're gonna lace them with everything.
That's beautiful.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and also I'm doing my fundraiser. It's gonna be a dope night on the town in Sacramento. My gala is gonna be in April. And if you guys want to support or find more about my nonprofit, Armstead Academic Project .org, or you can go to my socials or whatever. But that's just what I believe in, and I feel like education is key. And our youth are the future, and a lot of kids have been lost, especially since COVID. A lot of kids dropped out during COVID. Depression was at an all-time high. A lot of youth suicide. So I just want to be an impact on young people's lives and give them the opportunities and tools they need to be successful.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. Prior, it's funny you mention that because prior to right when the pandemic had started, I was in Las Vegas. I was in a studio with a recording artist making a body of work, and I was just sitting there and I thought about the kids where I'm from in Long Beach, and I was like, yo, they're not gonna be able to navigate this by themselves. Like they on an island. They're gonna be out here on an island, and a lot of them are going to actually become their parents' child care for their younger siblings, and then the food situation. So then we reached out to friends, literally got on calls and raised $100,000 and passed out Chromebooks, noise cancellation, earphones, and made sure that people had Wi-Fi for 4 schools. You know what I mean? Because it's important to us. Like it wasn't about anything else other than like that feeling that I got in my stomach, that lull where I was like, yo, this is going to tremendously impact the direction of these kids. And some people are not going to be able to get off the mat. So whatever little bit we can do, let's make sure that we do it. So from both of y'all, I love that you guys both are steeped in community and in trying to find real ways and leave real tangible tools for people so that it's not just momentary. It's a continuum. You know what I'm saying?
Sustainable.
I'm doing advocacy too. So, I'm from Sacramento. That's the capital.
Yeah.
So I'm meeting with politicians, trying to get funding for students. There was a bill that it didn't end up getting passed, but there was a bill that would have identified the lowest performing subgroup of students in California, which are Black students, and it would have been a huge amount of funding to, raise that floor of the kids who are struggling. So I'm doing work like that too, which I feel is very important. We can create programs and but we also gotta put more pressure on these people who are in positions of power to do what's right by our youth. So I love doing that too.
Yeah, I think the way we put pressure is you know, the whole voting thing, that's a whole other thing, but economics creates pressure.
I mean, and direct, right? Like, we can't rely on the system to educate and nurture and raise the children that come from our neighborhoods, right? Like, it's they're never going to do the job. They're never going to do the job.
They've
right?
never done it.
They've never done it. And
That's-
it'd be crazy to think it'll happen now. So it's like having that direct, like, man, it's just so different. Like I'll take my daughter to school and pick her up, and like the kids, the energy that they get just from you being there, like being there. Like some kids can't even. It don't matter what tool they have at school, they can't focus. Like they have so much going on at home that is like, you want me to learn today?
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's like even getting them on that work. Like sometimes we think something is wrong with a child because they can't be educated or they can't learn, but it's like he's not even in a conducive mental state to receive education.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like that work is so much deeper. It's got to be direct. You really have to touch them and lead, you know, through example.
Yeah, and not discard, because like you said, how do you focus when you ain't got no hot water at home?
You can't.
You don't know how you gonna eat.
can't.
Ain't no
People
electricity
arguing all the time.
Yeah.
You don't even got a room. You don't even got a room at the house to you don't got no quiet place
You
to
don't have
even
no
do your
quiet.
work.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But just know, like, and I know you guys feel it, but the work that you're doing is amazing, and you know, again, we're just excited and happy and blessed and honored to be able to sit down and amplify that and create a space to where we can talk about this, you know, and talk about the journey of it, because you know, a lot of times like we bait each other against each other because we want clicks, we want the moment, but the moment is this that creates more moments for the people after us and the kids and inspiring them. So, you know, again, flowers, love, appreciation. You know, I hope we can continue. We will continue this. Not hope.
For certain.
You know, we're gonna continue.
No
to
hope
do
needed.
this. Yeah.
Before y'all get out of here, some cool questions real quick. You love hoops. I've heard you talk about hoops and riding your bike. Right now, you get to go to Oracle and you get to play 3-on-3, right? What two players that are playing in the league are you picking up?
Curry and LeBron. I'm gonna go Curry and Kyrie because I just like where Kyrie's at mentally right now too. Like he in that space, you know. Hey, you know what's crazy? I came from hooping the other day and there was an older guy on the block and he was like, "Man, you know, you heard he called him Tyree. He was like, you know, Tyree got traded, right?" So it started off funny, and I'm like, yeah. And he like, man, he's a great player, but his mind, he's all over the place. And I'm like, you don't even know his name, but you're judging his mind because the media is feeding you something and you're consuming it. And all of that whole moment was like, I fuck with Kyrie. Like that's all it led me to was like, those are the battles that come with revolution, right? Those are the battles. You have people who can't even pronounce your name talking bad about what you doing. You feel me? Like that's what comes with revolution.
Those are the battles that come with revolution.
Definitely.
Oh bar. Yo, I know you love it here.
Uh-huh.
I know you love your teammates.
For sure.
But you know that there is a question that everyone has.
What's that?
Quarterback position next year,
Okay.
right? No, I'm just gonna ask. This isn't like I can't ask him. All right, I won't ask him then.
You go ahead, ask him. You go ahead.
No,
ask
I'm
him.
saying
Who you want?
like there's a guy
Well, I
named,
want-
there's a guy named Aaron Rodgers out there, and he's from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And-
I seen the other day he said he ain't coming to San Fran though. But I mean, I like who we got, man. You know, Trey got hurt last year, but I think we would have done some amazing things with him. Purdy
Balled out.
came
Purdy
in,
balled out.
and did some amazing things with him. You know, so Both guys are injured right now, so hopefully they heal soon and they can get back on the field. Ain't no timetables on that, so I think that's kind of, a looming kind of
That
linger.
was incredible.
Huh?
What a great team play.
Navigation.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible.
No, that's real.
No, but that's for
think
sure.
that's a
I mean,
real thing.
I think it's going to be a battle. I mean, to be honest, I think
Those two in
it's gonna
camp.
it's going to be a
At
quarterback
Purdy
battle.
Hills in time, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It's a pretty significant
I
injury.
think it's going to be a battle. I think we got two great options. I feel like we can win with either one, but it's going to be a battle.
And you know what's crazy?
And you need two
It would
great
be
options.
beautiful to see a team, instead of pitting those positions as a you're a backup. It would be interesting to see someone utilize all two or three of their weapons, and it's like, let's see how this looks. You feel me? Like, imagine you have two fresh guys who are really great at what they do, and you could really. It's just a different way of playing. You feel me? Instead of playing with one person the entire time, we have two. And both of them have different styles of play, and they're both exceptional. Now they're working together. And you feel me? Instead of like, we may be competing for this position, it's like, no, this our position. That'd be a different experience. Hey, if y'all do it, Niners, please.
Crazy. Imagine if a team had
just
two quarterbacks and they both threw for like 3,000 yards in a season.
And imagine if it's three and they're swapping out, and they all know the plays, they all know how they run together, but they're swapping because they all have different skills. One throws deep, exceptional. One has the short pass. One can scramble. As a defense, and then when you see these people, imagine Vic come in and then Tom Brady comes in, and then you're going to be like, what the fuck is going? You're going to be tired. You're going to be tired, you feel me?
Prevent defense.
And just imagine if every position was like that, where it's like, no, we're sharing this spot, and it's not anyone's spot, and we just kind of, man, it's going to be deadly.
That's how a
pretty
lot of
much it is,
of
right?
other positions are like
Swap
that.
out
Yeah.
every
Right?
couple plays.
Yeah, and also, man, I want to congratulate your defense. Y'all's defense.
Scary
That's
times.
yo. I ain't.
Yeah, we was like that.
Yeah.
We was like that.
Scary.
I love watching y'all play because I'm a big defensive guy on the side of like. I love watching y'all play. It was with so much passion, and I felt like he'll tell you we had these. We did picks on the podcast early before.
I picked y'all to go to the Super Bowl.
I did.
So?
I did. Y'all in Kansas City.
Yeah.
And I just felt like the defense, like y'all ferocious, man.
Yeah, it's tough. Every quarterback on the roster get hurt.
Right? That's
What
like
can you do?
Nah, what can you do?
What can you do?
But
That's
just,
like every member of the WuTang getting strep throat.
Right, at the Barclays, on the night of the Barclays. Right.
Like, what do?
You gotta call one of the other homies.
That's,
Those are those states where like you become completely submissive, and not submissive in a weak way, but submissive like in a powerful, accepting way, because you know something else is brewing, right?
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah,
Something's brewing.
Hey, I'm always rocking with us, no matter the outcome. I love my team, so we'll be right back to it.
Back to it.
We got to put him on with sticks.
Yeah, for sure.
God, yeah, we got to put you on with sticks.
I know you. The way you release music is on your own terms. I know you got a big year coming. Is there something in the pipeline in the next couple months? We just gotta tune in.
There's
and
so
like,
much. I have so much music. It's ridiculous, and I'm dropping it all. Like my goal is to leave empty. I don't want to hold nothing that I love. Like, it's better shared. Everything tastes better when you share it. So a lot of music to me now is just an extension of my being. So I'm doing the music, but I'm also building things and helping artists and taking care of the community. It's just they're all arms, right? So yeah, we got a ton of music coming, and just a lot of just dope experiences.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear it, bro.
Excited.
Yeah, I'm excited.
You can see my pelt.
I say that also because I feel like the Bay, you and Simba, not since like Souls of Mischief, have, and I love for it. This is dissing. No, I'm just saying the way the perception is. It's a different energy. It's a different energy. And I love what y'all doing. And man, your music, I remember the first time I caught you was, again, Just Incredible played me something. And I was like, who is this? And he was like, yo, I think I'm gonna do a project with this kid, LaRussell. And I was like, I told her, I was like, he hard as fuck. like
we
for
was
real.
talking about it.
I was like, he's hard. Like,
I love it too, because one of my favorite MCs of all time is from the Bay, Pep Love from High Roll. I just loved his voice, his cadence, and it was just so different during that time. And the same thing, like with the music that you make, it's very timeless. It's very like
it's timeless.
It's refreshing in a whole, and this is just music in general. Like anytime somebody could cut through all the noise so effortlessly, I can't even say
effortlessly,
but making an impact, and you can do it in any kind of style. Like, man, I love it. I never get tired of listening to it.
Beautiful.
So again, man, I'm excited. I'm so excited for everything that you got going, and
I'm good, man.
yeah.
Come on.
Part 2 in Vallejo.
Yeah, part 2 in Vallejo.
Yes.
Part
please.
3, and prior to that,
Please.
pulling
Part
up at his
3 at the
gala in
compound,
Sacramento.
man.
The gala, come on.
Everything,
Yes.
everything.
You got wear
Tell him,
tuxedos? Is we tuxedos?
let's dress up. Let's get clean. Yeah, let's get clean.
David said he's gonna get us a big old limo. You know what I mean? Now again, man, thank you guys again. I can't express it enough. Appreciate you. Blessed to be able to sit down and looking forward to nurturing and fostering this relationship that we've started today at Levi's Field in Santa Clara, California.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
NorCal.
Sweet life. The energy is
Yeah.
different. Tell 'em.